Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. There's Mel, the man in the blue chair. So much to talk about, Mr. Carmine. How in the heck are you? And I think the song's pretty fitting for a variety of reasons. Welcome to the show, and we're also streaming on your channels as well.
Absolutely. Well, it's definitely fitting for a guy who owns a Staying Alive center here in Cape Canaveral with 24 machines that I slept in there for the last 4 days. Hence the reason why I'm constantly so energized. You know, the biggest secret, I just told them backstage, as the biggest secret here is this. They don't want you to know that you can live to be 1,000 years old. Imagine this. If you had the most pristine air to breathe, if you had the most amazing organic food, superfoods to eat, okay, and then you hang out in our system, which energizes every 33 trillion of your cells and optimizes them to the fullest level of optimization, which is 90 millivolts. Every disease in your body will automatically, is the best doctor in the world, lives in your body. It will automatically bring you back to incredible health. That's what they're afraid of. Besides the fact that if you hang out with me, you might go up about maybe 10, 15 points on your IQ levels, right? And they definitely don't want people who are capable of critical thinking, who are smart, okay? Because that goes against their agenda. And I'm here to be a thorn in their side and piss in their cornflakes. How you doing, brother?
Good. If you hear some munchkins in the background, there's kids right up there, but I'm doing good, man. Scott's currently en route to go visit his mother. It's been a while, so he's probably going to be spending a couple weeks doing that. He may pop on, he may not, but I just know he hasn't seen her in a while, so
right.
We want to make sure he has plenty of time with her. I'm excited to talk about the documentary. It's amazing to see what you've come up with. We'll share the trailer with people, but I don't know. It's really cool to be using the connections you've made and to be doing a film documentary at the level which we've seen so far from the trailer is just astonishing. So let's talk about how this came together. I mean, I have a little bit of an idea, having been victim to censorship myself, but please, let's start with that.
Well, we've been so tired of being held back. We know that there's somebody else is in charge of your vehicle, my vehicle. We're only allowed to go so fast. We're only allowed to be exposed to so many people. If we talk too much truth, they throttle you back even more, like it's happened recently. I have a good friend of mine who mined 92,000 Bitcoins successfully when Bitcoin was 85 cents. He was mining Bitcoin, and the government's basically, it's a government heist because in 6 years, he's been under house arrest for 6 years, 11 months in prisons, and 5 years and a little more under house arrest. No trial, no jury, no court date. Nobody picked a jury yet. Nobody knows when or where the trial is, and they keep slowing him down. And they got his Bitcoin is in the possession of these FBI guys, right? Which in New York, if you're in New York, FBI stands for Forever Bother Italians, all right? And the reality is that, we have a government that's gone rogue. We have a government that's gone gangster. And it's time to say enough is enough. Somebody's got to do. Listen, I understand the risk I'm putting myself under because these people are not nice. They got guns. They're probably much more trained than I am with them. They're tied to a corrupt judicial system. They're tied to a corrupt, and there's my dog yelling at me, telling them I got to let him out. That's a Costa Rican dog, by the way. But anyway, needless to say, so now, that Trump has been in office, the level of censorship has gotten worse, not better. Okay. So, the reality is everybody's yelling and screaming that we need a Bill of Rights for the internet. We don't. The Bill of Rights is what our forefathers left us, which is the Constitution. It's the First Amendment. So Donald Trump needs to put his commander-in-chief hat on, find out who's guilty, and put together a very comprehensive. Can you hear my dog barking?
Just a little bit.
Okay. Let me let him out real quick. I'll be right back.
No problem.
Now you guys stay out there. Go.
I'm just going to share this with you guys. So this is, if you are not familiar with Mel, here's his information at the bottom, QFS1776.com. And if you're interested in learning more about the documentary. I'll pull that up as well. That's so cool. You have a website already in the works here with dearmrpresident.net, and I'll pull that up as well for people. So
sure. So basically, we don't need a bill of rights for the internet. We don't need to rewrite. We're not going to genuflect to the New World Order puppets, because these guys, at the end of the day, the Zuckerbergs and the guys who own, Instagram and YouTube and Facebook, they're all nothing but a bunch of mannequins in the window at Macy's. They're not the guys in charge. There's a small percentage, we believe, of potentially the military-industrial complex pulling the levers down below. And they have compromised these guys, meaning they've been to Mr. You-know-who's island over there in the Bahamas. They probably got some videos of them with the little ones, and they're compromised. And they're not going to be able to move because they'll be blackmailed. Because of that, they're able to control everybody. Does that make sense?
very, very much so. Very much so. So go ahead.
So now the level of speech that's been, look, a guy like me, for example, I should have 1 million people conservatively. And if it's 800,000, I'm okay with that. But whatever the number is, let the audience decide, not some tech giants who got spoiled, who became billionaires and trillionaires, who think they run the world. You don't run us. You forgot that the American people, you could call them anything you want, but we are not docile by nature. We're at some point, if you really keep pushing, this is the fight you asked for, so we're here. Now we're going to push back, and we're going to push back hard. Why? Because in America was founded on freedom of speech. This is privileged citizenship in the sense that everybody wants to come here because of the almighty dollar. You could still make $1 billion in America if you're willing to be smart and work hard and know how to leverage off of other people. You can make a fortune in this country. Every corporation in the world would love to be here, right? So we're going to allow you to say, oh no, we're a private company. No, listen, corporations are dying to be in America. They would love to be in your position, and the only thing they have to do is abide by the rules and let the Mel Carmines and the Joe Rosatis to grow unimpeded to whatever number the audience says we are allowed to, not you guys.
Absolutely. And you bring up a good point. Someone was just being interviewed. I don't know if it was Charlie Kirk, but anyway, why do these people that hate America, they don't leave, they stay here?
Well, they infiltrated every aspect of our life. They infiltrated our school systems. They got your kids captive in these gulag, these concentration camps of the government. They're brainwashing your kids to be nice little communists. They're brainwashing them to be nice little socialists. And this is the result of us being distracted with The Price is Right, Let's Make a Stupid Deal, Survivor Island, Housewives of Los Angeles, Housewives of New Jersey. Okay, who's screwing whose wife, who's sleeping around, all the nonsense. And we thought it was cute because Americans, one thing we love, one thing you have to believe is the fact that Americans love to be entertained, and we're easily distracted. Now that the car's gone off the cliff and we have to deploy all the parachutes so that we get a softer landing, now we're waking up. And thank God we got Donald Trump. Can you imagine we had a freaking bozo in there still, like a Joe Biden or a Kamala Harris? Think about that. Think about that for 1 second.
Well, we know what that was like, Yeah. So well, let's talk about how did the idea of the film come to you? I think that might be good to let people know about. I mean, I think it's a lot of frustration that was in the works and finally brewed, and I think you finally said something, but let's talk about that.
Sure. We were doing a live podcast with what's her name, Victoria Reynolds, and there was I believe Carole Maureen was on that one. Elisa V is in there. Mike Barra, and we started talking on several podcasts that we got to write a letter to Donald Trump, and we got to stop the censorship, and we're going to strategize on how to get in. And then all of a sudden, people said, we started saying, why don't we just blow this letter or this audio that we want to do, that we hope that either one or both will end up on his desk. Why don't we just blow it up and just write a full-blown documentary and really express our opinion and bring in the podcasters who a lot of you are ghosting me because you're afraid that Mel Carmine has too much charisma and I might get too popular. Are you fucking kidding me? You know, it's ridiculous. You know, I'm already popular. I'm not doing this for popularity. The minute they hit the switch and the XRP is worth whatever it's got to be worth, and the gold and the silver and the dinars and all this shit, you think I want to sit here in front of a camera? You'll catch me on some beach around the world walking around with my wife and my two beautiful puppies. I'm not going to be doing this much longer, and I can assure you. All right.
Good point. Good point. So how did you go about finding the people that wanted to be part of this? Because I think you said you have a pretty good team that's helping behind the scenes. This is not you at a computer. I mean, there are people like Nick Alvear that can do a lot of this stuff by themselves. He's influenced me to step out of my comfort zone. But talk to us about how that came together, the team to help you.
I've never done a documentary in my life. I've done little short commercials for my Staying Alive business in Cape Canaveral, Alive with 2 E's at the end. The other one is owned by the Bee Gees, by the way. And I realized that maybe, just maybe, I could really push the envelopes. I've done so many commercials, so many really good commercials, that I've gotten pretty good at my craft. I've gotten pretty good at voiceover. I've gotten pretty good at directing. I got pretty good at writing. I said, maybe I could, I could do, so I'm stupid like that, right? I said, maybe I could do a documentary. So I start writing things, and I send it to my editors, who my editors are really good. And so they put everything together, and we start bouncing ideas, and we start tweaking and making all the carburetor adjustments. And then the next thing you know, the whole thing starts to take on a form. And then we're doing the voiceover, putting the voiceovers through filters so that I don't sound too rough like I'm from New York, because nobody wants to come listen to an hour and 20 minutes of some guy that sounds like he's from Brooklyn, Canarsie or something, right? So I sound more polished, and it's more scripted, and it's very professional. And Maureen, who had the pleasure of watching the entire 42 minutes of the documentary that we have right now, and her and I agreed on one thing. If we were to release it as is right now, it's a major hit. But we want to make sure that we get his voice, that we get Scott's voice, that we get, Nino Rodriguez. Obviously, he's one of the guys that's ghosting me. I'm sorry for you, dude, that you don't understand that you should be 5 million instead of 478,000, right? Which means they're stealing money from you by a factor of 10 times, because you should be making 10 times more. And they don't get it, that if we were to pull together, it's bad enough we got YouTube against us, Zuckerberg against us, Google is against us, everybody's against us,
right?
And then we're fighting with each other, which is exactly what they want, instead of joining forces,
right? So I as soon as I heard about this, my hand was up. I'm like, Mel, do you need music? What do you need? What do you need? So why do you think that there's I don't understand the hesitation, because we're all part of censorship, and we need all our voices. This is a time to unite, and it has been amazing to have Carole Maureen Friesen as part of the team, because we got to stay with her in Costa Rica. So there's a great group of people that are already part of it. Their hands are up. You've got a great team behind you. This isn't just you working by yourself. So hopefully this is, if people see this part of it, I mean, I think the point is to get everybody to contribute a 45-second clip. So what's going on with that?
You would think that they would be knocking my doors off the damn hinges to be part of it. But I hate to say it, but if you were me and you were trying to do what I'm doing right now, and people are all of a sudden people, that you can pick up the phone and pretty much talk to them anytime you want, all of a sudden, or you know what it's like to be ignored, like if you ask a girl out 5 times and she says no 4 times, you want to call her a 5th time, you know what I mean? You're wasting your time, right? So I don't want to
probably less than that for me, but yeah, I get what you're saying.
But you know what I'm saying? So if you were me and you realize these people aren't calling you back, what conclusion would you come up with, Joe, other than the fact that either they don't want you, they think that I'm doing this for notoriety, I'm trying to get popular, I'm trying to make money, which the movie's free, by the way, free, zero. Okay.
Right.
Even the movie theaters that Elisa V is getting in New York, and the 2 movie theaters that we got so far that maybe are committed somewhat already in Hawaii, they're not charging for the movie. You only have to buy a popcorn, for crying out loud, and you go into the independent theater, you watch the movie, period, end of story. So where's the motivation here other than, I'll bring back the old pay structure because they've changed the pay structure on YouTube, 9 times? The pay structure on YouTube is good for YouTube. It's not good for Mel Carmine.
Right.
Okay. I mean, 5 years ago, 6 years ago, it was okay. 10 years ago, it was great. You could make money on YouTube. Okay. But this is a business. Like any business, it needs a influx of cash in order for it to survive, like any other business, right? A guy like you, for example, you should be making conservatively, $1 million a year. Okay, you got to pay some employees, you got a studio, you got some lights, you got some insurance, whatever. You should be making some money. I'm not talking about killer money, but you should be living a comfortable life, and you're not able to do that because someone else is in charge. Someone that is here to make sure there's a lot of entities, not just these social media platforms, but a lot of entities want nothing more than to make sure that this country falls into communism.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
And that's not going to happen.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and here's a good point. Right now, we've created a following, if you will, of 45,000 people on Rumble. And I watch other channels. Some have 5,000, some have 50,000. And they're easily getting 4,000 to 7,000 people watching their lives. We have 100 people watching right now. That's not for lack of effort. I mean, I'm doing everything possible, that I can think of to get the word out there, to give notice. But it's very, very challenging. That nearly every channel we've tried is part of the censorship, and whether the people working there or not realize it, it doesn't matter. We talked to Louis Herms about it from Screw Big Gov. He knows damn well. I mean, he's running for governor of California. The guy's pretty darn connected, and he's an amazing candidate, by the way, if you're not familiar with him. He kind of has his finger on the pulse of many things. He's done 2 truth tours, a unity tour. So when we're looking for someone that has an inside scoop, someone such as Louis Herms has a pretty darn good idea of what's going on. In fact, he runs Screw Big Gov. So, that's the thing. Like, anyone that runs a show, I would think, should have their hand up to want to contribute to a documentary on censorship. It's an absolute no-brainer. And if they're not, I'd love them to reach out to me even privately and let me know, what is the reason, and what can we do to get you on board? I mean, maybe we have to invite Carole on even right now. We could, if she's available, to show like the caliber of people that are involved. She's amazing. Like, I don't know why people's hands aren't up. So
I don't either. And I'm really tired of trying to figure out why. And I just charge forward because there's so much to do at the end of the day. When you do something on this caliber, it's extremely demanding. When I give you an example, when he did the Quantum Summit, same thing. I mean, you ask Carole, you ask my co-hosts, how many people ghosted us? People that were on stage never mentioned it one time on their shows, and they got shows that they have 100,000, 120,000, 150,000 people. Why would you not mention it on your show that you're going to be at the Quantum Summit in Cape Canaveral, March 8th, March 9th of 2025? Why would you do that?
Right.
What's the motive behind that? I don't get it. It's bad enough we got YouTube against us. We got Zuckerberg against us. We got Bill Gates trying to kill us. We got all these people against us. And if we're fighting against each other, they're laughing at us. We become the laughing stock of America.
Right. Exactly. Well, so what do you, without giving it away, can you talk a little bit about the concept of the film, or anything you want to talk about in relation to that, to help people grasp what it is that you're
doing? I think it tells a story in such a methodical way that the average Joe is going to get it. The average Joe Jane is going to get it. The average podcaster who watches this is going to kick themselves in the ass for not getting involved. If they would realize how good it is.
Should we play the trailer for folks? I think that let's
do that.
This might be a good time for that. So give me 1 second here.
We should do it now and towards the end.
I agree with that. So let me pull this up. We're going to do Dear Mr. Announcement, Dear Mr. President, and go back to the start. All right, folks. Here it is.
In a nation founded on liberty, the right to speak is slipping away. From the airwaves to algorithms, America's voice is being stifled by corporations, by platforms, by fear.
Censorship. It's a much bigger threat to democracy than anything that we've seen in this country in the last 4 years, in the last 40 years.
One man dared to fight back with a letter to the president.
The idea of the letter turns into a full-blown documentary.
The American people are demanding to see arrests at this point because we have the proof beyond a shadow of a doubt. I want to see, I think I speak for the American people. I think you guys would agree. If we were to put together a really cool email, but not send the email because that email will never get sent, but turn it into an audio and put it all over the internet and have the patriots just move it out there, okay? Wow. I mean, like, let it spread out there like crazy until it gets to Donald Trump and let them know the American people want to see fucking arrests. The people of the world want to see arrests. Because I'll tell you what, the people of other nations are waiting to invite in, okay, DOGE, because if you think it's only happening in the United States of America, you're making a big mistake. His words sparked a movement among podcaster and various patriots, a call to reclaim free speech. I wrote to the president because silence isn't freedom, it's surrender. Silence No More follows one man's bold solution to confront censorship head-on and the ripple effect shaking the nation. This letter isn't just words, it's a challenge to the system. One letter, one voice, one chance to change everything. Perfect. I had to let my puppies in.
All right. Well, so that should give people a little bit of insight. Now, Carol was on that clip down in the corner. I believe she's going to be joining us to back up what it is you're talking about. She's part of the team. She's an amazing human being. She runs a sanctuary in Costa Rica, which, you know, you lived there for a number of years. She's a light worker and a healer. And, you know, I mean, this is the type of people that they're throwing their hats in the ring. So, so who helped you with that? Like, talk a little bit about I mean, if you want to. I don't know how much you want to, share.
Yeah,
that's pretty awesome what you got so far.
Yeah, look, it's been a brain thrust. It started between me and Lisa Valentino. I believe, what's her name? Victoria Reynolds was still part of the forecast at that time. We started bouncing ideas around. Then we sent it over to, when we had something written that we could start recording voiceovers, et cetera, and putting them through the filters so that I sound, like not like a wild man, like I am right now live, right? That, imperfections were literally dissected and glued back together to make the audio sound more tight. You know how what editing is like, I'm sure. You live in that world. So, our editing staff is out of none other than Nigeria, where there's a lot of scams going out of Nigeria. But you can't say that everybody in Nigeria is a bad person. These people happen to be very talented. One of them, I love his name, is one of my chief editors' name is Mr. Goodluck.
Nice.
Yeah, that's his actual name.
Okay.
So we call him Mr. Goodluck. But anyway, needless to say, when I realized how talented these people are, I realized that, yes, we could put together our brains, power, write stuff, start recording stuff, start editing it, start putting it through the filters, make it sound professional, make it sound nice, and tell a story in a sequential order where people get it, say, yes, we get that. And so, yes, something needs to be done. Because if people get pissed off and the podcasters get pissed off, maybe we'll do a sequel. We'll do a part 2 of Dear Mr. President.
Right.
Whatever it takes.
So if people want to get this out to their friends that are podcasting, and I don't know how much time there is, I don't know what the deadline is. I know I've done my clip. But what is it that you're looking for so people know? And so people,
I'm looking for Donald Trump to write such a powerful executive order that is sort of like an addendum to our First Amendment in the Constitution, that these tech giants who think they control our microphones will not be able to move left or right. They have to literally remove all of the bumps. There'll be inspections, unannounced inspections. They'll come in, inspection, open up your computers. The bumps are still there. Boom. $5 billion fine. You go back second time, $20 billion fine. Third time, we take your company. I'm very sure that the Trumps know enough programmers where we can literally take over a YouTube, we could take over an Instagram and get rid of all of the bumps and make it fair for everybody so people can earn a living.
Fair enough. I want to bring this up. So I'll get to the second, or what I meant by my question. So
Sure.
Same sort of thing happens in Australia. The patriots can't get together on the same issues, hard to get everyone together. So what I meant by that, and thank you for sharing that part of maybe the end result of the documentary, but what are you looking for from podcasters that may see this in time in order to get you footage so that they can be part of this documentary?
Well, the more podcasters we have talking for 10 seconds, 20 seconds, 30 seconds, 12 seconds, whatever the case may be, because you can say a lot in 12 seconds and be very impactful. You can say a lot in 30 seconds and be very impactful. It doesn't have to be 45 seconds is the maximum you're allowed to talk. So if we tell you, hey, come on in, give us a piece, that doesn't mean you can give us a minute and 45 seconds. That means 45 seconds. Like, for example, Senator Finchman gave me a piece. He's a very busy guy. He forgot to say, dear Mr. President. He starts with Mr. President, which is okay. I'm not going to tell him to correct it, but it was perfect. In 39 cents, he said everything he needed to say. Okay, so you got a powerhouse like that, a senator. I mean, this guy calls Mel Carmine. I mean, not to toot my own horn. I got senators picking up the phone and, hey, how you doing? Like, why are you calling me, bro? I'm like, I'm just a regular.
Cool.
It is cool, right? And I never did this because that's what I wanted to be. I wanted to be popular and signing autograph. I don't even enjoy that, to be honest with you. You know, out at the summit, right? Somebody asked me to give him an autograph on the jacket that what's his name 107 sells.
Oh, right.
The jacket with the Matador, and there's on the sleeve there's a picture of Donald Trump with his mouth like this. So I put it right by his mouth, Mel Carmine. Like Donald Trump is yelling my name. You know, I mean, you're gonna have to have fun with it at some point, but I really resent the fact that people think that we've stepped up, because if we don't step up, we're gonna lose this country.
Right.
This is not about becoming a rock star. This is not about red carpet treatments and hanging out. You know, Hollywood. We're not trying to create a new Hollywood here. This is for all the casino chips.
Well, yeah. I mean, think of it. If our voices that are censored, and one of the main aspects of being censored is so that human trafficking can't be talked about. Mm-hmm. Where we need to unite is that children need to not be trafficked anymore. Like, to me, when I heard about this, that's what started our show. Everyone should have their hands up and be doing some part. And I'm not telling people what to do, but at least sharing videos like this is a real thing. So think of it as if there's kids that are still getting trafficked. There's kids disappearing in Texas. We know those floods aren't natural. Those floods, there's kids missing. So let's unite for the children. Like, really, there's nothing more important than that. So if we can do the clips and get the film out there and have more people involved, and, you know, get the word out that kids are being trafficked. Like, there's one thing to unite over and put anything else aside. It's that. Like, that's the main thing going on in the world right now.
There's so many things. But if we're trying to win a war, and this becomes the most powerful weapon we have is our microphones, and someone else is controlling this, and let's say, for example, your normal reach would be 1 million people, argument's sake, just a round number, right? And this is being stifled by someone else, and you have no control over this, and instead of reaching 1 million people, you're only reaching 10,000. They're winning, we're losing. So let's not put the cart in front of the horse. Let's get our priorities in order. Let's get these unclogged first. Then we'll worry about a lot of the other things. Because if we're talking about saving the children and you're reaching 1 million people instead of 10,000, you're doing a lot more damage to the New World Order reaching 1 million than 10,000. So let's get our priorities straight. Let's get the fucking microphones unclogged.
Very well said. Very well said. So what else? I mean, what do you see the timeline as when the documentary is coming out? Like, I don't know how much you can speak to that, but anything you want to say about when it might be coming out?
17th of August is our date that we're trying to shoot for. Our editors are going to have their hands full. I know that there's going to be at least we have all of the pieces now, including yours, that you just tweaked it with the real footage of you being on that podcast with that song that is absolutely awesome. And yes, his song is going to be at the end of the movie. His song is amazing, and you should play that here. But we're in a position right now that we have no choice but to take the bull by the horns. The car's gone off the deep end. We know that if we don't deploy these parachutes, it's going to be a nasty scene. Right? And we need all hands on deck. What part of that? The problem is that the Patriot podcasters have become way too complacent and too comfortable. Like Danilo Rodriguez is. He's comfortable making his $350,000, $400,000 a year, and he's become comfortable. He doesn't realize that if communism was to set in, that $400,000 a year disappears faster than shit goes through a goose. Right?
That's a good way to put it.
Right?
Yeah.
So you have to be able to understand that we have to, whether we like each other or not, we should put our differences aside, check your fucking ego at the door, and get into the real fight, and understand that if we lose this fight, if you don't think the bad guys have like 9 ambulances or 17 ambulances around the corner getting ready to give them the blood transfusion that they need to come back from the dead, you'll be making a big mistake. You'll be making a huge, huge mistake. We paid them quadrillions of dollars over the years, right? They have all of the money, and everybody's like, stop looking for opportunities. They're listening to people who take out names of animals in the jungles of Africa without mentioning any names, telling you it's going to happen tomorrow, and that they're talking to God. Meanwhile, I don't know, because I don't live in their head. I can't prove that they're talking to God. And they're going from, oh yeah, XRP is going to be worth 100,000. Now they're going to 1 million because they don't have enough eyeballs. And their currency is not greed in the sense of trying to screw people. Their currency is, I want to attract more attention to me, because they know that after this whole thing is over, their 29 minutes of fame is over. You don't have to go to a redemption center. It's my money. I'm going to have to sign your non-disclosure agreement and register with some redemption center. Otherwise, my XRP is worth nothing. What?
Right.
Who the fuck tells these people this shit? And why do you believe it? Right? So people have stopped looking for freaking jobs completely, and they're waiting that it's going to happen tomorrow. They don't have a pot to piss in or a window to throw it out of. And yet they're thinking that it's going to happen tomorrow. And the guy that told you for the last 80 days, 190 days, that's going to happen tomorrow, you're still following him.
Very well said. Someone's asking if Dear Mr. President is the name of the documentary. So I'm going to share this with folks once again so they can see what's going on there. And I believe Carol is here. I just got to let me bring her in. I think
Sure.
I don't know if she has her camera on. So Carol, you are here. Can you hear us? We just can't see you. Okay. Yeah, she needs to connect her mic and camera.
DearMrPresident.net is the name of the documentary. And you guys, we depend on you guys to take it and spread it out there so that we can create a buzz and tell the tech giants to take their algorithms and stick them where the sun doesn't shine, up their ass.
Mel is brash, he's crass, but Mel is Mel, and that's the thing. I mean, what? No one else has a chair like that.
My mom never raised me or my family or my brothers and siblings to run on fear. She raised us to never trust anybody, and I think she maybe overdid it, but I don't think something tells me that she didn't do it enough, because I'm literally the only one in my family that's the way that I am. The rest of them are, they're 2 of them are right wing, one's left wing, and they're pansies, total pansies.
Let's talk about if you can, maybe some. I don't know if you can mention names, but the contributions thus far to the documentary. Is there anything else you want to speak to?
Yeah, I'm gonna give the honors to Carol when she comes in. She's really put out a major effort in bringing about 12 different or 14 different pieces that we're going to add to the documentary. Here she comes.
Here she is. All right. Can you hear us? let's hear you.
Okay.
Say hello.
Hello.
Okay, guys. So everybody, this is Carole Maureen Friesen. She runs the Heaven and Earth Sanctuary in Costa Rica, and she's an amazing light worker, and she's assisting a lot with Mel in the documentary. So, Carole, welcome, and what has it been like for you lately in helping Mel out with all of this?
Well, he's right on track. He's getting lighting fires, and yeah, it's been really great actually. I got about 14 now. There's a couple more came in this morning. So
good. Go through some of those names that they deserve the credit, and I want it to come from you because you're the one that actually lit a fire under their ass and brought them to the table. So
let me just don't want to miss anyone. Just give me a second. Keep talking.
Absolutely.
I'll just get into my Dropbox.
Of course. So Mel, who as far as the assisting in this with what is is a lot of it is there certain podcasters out there that have also been cheering you along and keeping things positive, or tell us a little bit about that?
Well, listen, if every podcaster that Mel Carmine knows that has a relationship, whether they're friends or their acquaintances, if they didn't ghost me and they realized the validity of this and the importance of this, and they all gave me a 45-second piece or a 39-second piece or whatever the case may be, I can assure you this documentary will be 5 hours long. That didn't happen. So maybe it's a good thing. Maybe the people that are supposed to be in the documentary are the people that are supposed to be in the documentary, and the other ones are not supposed to be in the documentary. And maybe God is saying, don't worry about it, dude. I got you. I'm sending you the ones that are supposed to be there. And I'm okay with that.
Right. Sure. Carole, any findings so far?
Yeah. Well, I've got Bruce Poppy from Bruce Poppy Show. I've got Dylan Lewis Monroe from Deep State Mapping Project. We've got Michelle from, I don't know her last name, from Hawaii, the one that wrote a book on the fires in.
Oh yeah, she's amazing.
Yeah. Jason Q, of course. Joe, of course, you, Rosati, and Josh Reed from Red Pill Project.
He's awesome.
Yeah, Josh is really great. Mark News Treason. Nancy Addison, Script Keeper. Stewie's News. He's from the UK. He's hilarious. He first video he said he didn't have a shirt on. He'd heard me in a podcast that I was doing, like working on this, and he said today, and I says, "Come on, you're worse than Zelensky. You're speaking to the." And I got a great video from him this morning. And Tom Althouse, and I'm still waiting on Scott Stone. And actually, Kevin is in Las Vegas with 107 today, and he's actually filming different podcasters there. The 45-second, they did a memorial for Karen yesterday.
Oh, beautiful!
Yeah,
beautiful.
Scott's there, eh? Or I'm not supposed to tell you that.
Oh, I'm not exactly sure what's going on right now, but I do want to say, the first person I can think of that would be a great fit for this is Mark Atwood.
We have Mark.
Okay.
Well,
fantastic.
It went into Mel's inbox, so I don't know. I'm gonna leave him a message again and just say,
hey, make sure he sends it to you, as I'm very disorganized with digital paper, regular paper. I'm not a paper person.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and I've got calls into Kathy O'Brien this morning. Well, there's a whole bunch that's still.
I got Jim Gale, even though I wrote him a script and then he went off script. I got the senator. I'm waiting for Elisa to redo hers. I wrote a script for Laura Eisenhower. She did good, except the camera is shaking. So I'm waiting to hear back from my editor to see if he could figure out how to finagle the bagel and stop the shaking from happening. Things like that. It's like you're in the podcasting business. I don't expect you to be, Oliver Stone, but you should know that you have to have lighting and no shaking, right?
And
Right.
landscape,
Right.
not this way. And
Well,
dress.
the senator
Oh.
gave it to me that way.
Yeah. Ethan Lucas texted me this morning, and I talked to Kevin Hoyt this morning. They're all submitting.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I said I gave them another day.
Awesome. Yeah.
I said I have
listen,
some pull.
if we don't get to August 17th and it's you know, a couple of weeks later, that's okay too, you know. It's going to happen in God's time. It's I cannot deliver anything less than perfection. You had the pleasure to watch the entire 42-minute documentary yesterday. What did you think?
It's fabulous. It's absolutely fabulous. And with adding the podcasters in there and the certain points, I think it's going to be really great, because it is kind of like the greatest show on earth, like Nick did, because it is, what do you call it with the voice? What do you call that?
Narrated.
Voiceover. We got some
voiceover,
1960s, 60s and 70s rock and roll music in the background. Just that alone is captivating. I did a whole piece that's 5.5 minutes long where I explained that this started out and we called it Dear Mr. President for a reason. And I tell the whole story, how the whole thing came about, which you heard with Elisa the other day. That piece is going to be with an instrumental, the exact music of Stairway to Heaven in the background of that. That's going to be a killer. It's coming together well. I think once he has all the pieces, I think a week and a half, 2 weeks, he should be able to deliver the second cut, third cut. And by the time we get to the fourth cut, we should be able to deploy.
Yeah, I also have, some clips that might go into, never know. Like there was a few minutes of Rush Limbaugh's talking about censorship when San Francisco was, he was taken down because he was saying there was poop all over the streets. And RFK Jr., I found some really short clips of him talking about censorship. I think if we don't get him actually to do a clip, then we can actually use those pieces because I think it was in Congress or something like this, So I've got a few extra if they get used. Don't know. We'll see. Because it's, it's a lot of work, even just finding clips and good ones.
Yes.
So,
exactly.
and then can you use them? I mean, if they're in public, where it's easy to edit too sometimes off those clips, because I just put it on Zoom and play it until I want, and then record and then keep going. So there is lots of ways to do it. So, yeah.
Very cool. So what else, Carol? So what would make your life easier at this point? If there's anything you can say to folks, or what is it that you need, if you need anything?
Well, I just need the videos in. Just submit it, and then we'll see which ones get used, and some of them will be maybe used at the end of the documentary. Here's the other podcasters that have submitted. Depends on like how fitting it is. Some are. Yeah,
maybe we'll save all the bloopers for the end of the movie while we're playing Joe's song, the guy with no shirt.
Yeah, there's another one that was well, Script Keeper is really good. He did it on his show. I'm going to do it right now, Carol, but he went on for 1 minute and 46 seconds or something. And then he was on with Nick Avlier and him, because they're really good friends. And
Nick is such an incredible. I mean, he's the inspiration behind me doing this, because I said, I'm sure he's very talented, and that's all he does is pretty much documentaries now. He's very good at it. I mean, he's the Oliver Stone of our time in telling the story.
Pretty incredible.
Yeah, he really is good.
Well, one script with Script Keeper cost me $100, because the first day I put $50, right? And then he gets to read, right? Oh, I'm going to do it, Carol. Next day he's on with Nick. I go $50, and so and so him and Nick, they were saying, well, Carol's everywhere. She's always in these chats, right? Because I was at the greatest party on earth when the greatest show on earth was playing.
Well, of course you will.
Show. I've left Nick a message. I have not heard back from him. My problem here is that I don't have an American plan, so I can't just phone them You know, I mean, otherwise, not everyone's
Right.
on WhatsApp. So yeah,
Right.
I've emailed Nick too. So
Okay.
yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
Well, I may have to send this clip of the conversation to him so he knows specifically that we're doing what we can to get the word out. I just want to say, Mel, I think what you're doing, it's so needed, it's so on point, and I just hope everybody can just put down whatever it is that is, stopping them, those that have heard about this, and get the, and submit a clip, even if it's 10 seconds, 45 seconds is the maximum, but you've got, I'm on board, Carole's on board, and Carole just read the laundry list of the amazing show, podcasters that are also on board. So, I mean, the reason I wanted to bring in Carole, well, there's more than one reason, but anything she's part of, it does lend a bit of validity and reality to it. And look at her, she's here to raise the vibration. So that's a big part why I wanted Carole to join us.
Well, we got to bring all our magic together, right? And I was getting that the other day. Is like people go against magic. Magic is creation. It's about being creative. That we create the magic. Miracles are something that happens outside of us, that happens to us. We think, that's how they're taking it, right? So with black magic, I mean, they have to tell us what they're doing, whether it's movies, music, blah, blah, blah. Mel loves my blah, blah, blahs. And then also, but white magic, you just have to shine a light on them. That's exactly what they're doing. And we're just shining a light on censorship, but we've got to do it. And we've got to bring our magic together. And then it's going to be 100,000 times more powerful because it's all of us. It's not just one person saying, hey, there's a lot going on here, or put it all on Trump. It's not about him. It's about censorship.
Yeah,
And,
once we unclog the microphones and our message is unimpeded, and he's good enough to grow to 1 million subscribers, and he could reach 1 million subscribers, and the people who actually hit the notification bell actually get notified, because that is also another problem. The people hit the notification bell and they're not being notified that you're on the air right now.
Yeah,
that's a problem, right? So once that's out of the way, now you got people that are going to re-energized, re-motivated to get back in the game. Why?
Yeah.
Because here comes Mel Carmine and his mafia, and they convinced Donald Trump to get rid of freedom of speech impediment, right? To get rid of it altogether by law. So once that happens and we're able to reach the maximum number of people and nobody is screwing around with us anymore, now we can address the fake fires in California. Now we can address the children. Now we could address the pedo island, whatever. You understand? Now we have broad reach. This is what they're afraid of. They're totally afraid of it because they know that if 100 million podcasters all stand up, mainstream media is being decimated right now with them holding us back. Imagine if we were playing by the rules. We will not just beat the shit out of them. We will pulverize them.
Well said. Yeah, we've got to do it. I mean, and it's when you've been part of the censorship like we have, it's brutal. I mean, it totally is, because it's not just about the numbers. It's about your livelihood. It's about, it does help motivate you when your message is getting out there. And I don't think a lot of people understand how much, when you're running a show, it becomes a massive part of your life. Like this literally has become a very full-time job, especially for me, because I'm doing so many, like I've taken on doing the edits for the Rev 17 event so that all the speakers, Laura Logan, Lewis Herms, Dr. Christiane Northrup, so all their speeches can be shared on their platforms. Why do I do that? Why am I throwing my hat on the ring? Well, because it's about human trafficking. And if I can clip their parts up and they can get them out there and it reaches more people, well, that's a lot easier than a 6-hour clip. So I'm willing to do that because I've learned enough editing. So, I mean, there's one part of my life, yeah, is Truth Stream, but I'm doing so much more than that people have no idea. And I'm not saying that to gloat. I'm just saying because it's about the children. If I'm not in the mood, well, if it's stopping a kid from getting trafficked, it'll get me in the mood. So that's my why. That's my motivation. That's why I'm always doing something that's way bigger than just Truth Stream. So
and this will re-energize the base once they know for sure that there's whether it's an addendum or whether it's an executive order with teeth that basically enforces. Because think about how many companies would love to come to America and sell their wares and tears in America. How many people cross mountains to come to America, risk getting raped, getting killed by the coyotes and all this stuff to come to America? Why does everybody want to come here? Because as bad as we suck, and we still suck a lot less than all the other countries combined. And Donald Trump is trying to fix a lot of stuff. Yeah, he wants everybody to be very rich. I want everybody to be healthy so that you could enjoy your riches. That's why I started stayingalive.com in Cape Canaveral, alive with 2 E's. Right? You come there and you sit there for 5 days or 6 days, or you stay overnight, because when you go into sleep mode and you're at the maximum level of meditation is when you're asleep. Okay. The cells really energize to the point where you'll understand, because the body has a way of talking to you, say, hey, whatever it is you did, keep doing that because I feel great. Exactly. And at some point it will catch on. And at some point you'll go to stayingalive.com in Cape Canaveral and say, sorry, we're booked for the next 6 months. You have to wait 6 months to get a chair. I believe that day is coming because of who's in charge. And RFK, I believe, is going to put our system, not just our system, but anybody who's got healing modalities that work, on Schedule C. What that means is your insurance company is buying an insurance policy, paying for you to go to Staying Alive. And if you're healthy, you're never going to call them and say, I'm sick, I need to collect some money from you because I'm paying an insurance policy. So the insurance policy sending you to Mel Carmine's healing center is an insurance policy for the insurer.
Yep. There you go. Well, I know we're trying to keep this round roughly about an hour, and I know we're going to play your the trailer one more time, and then of course I'll close with the Freedom Now song. But what else? Is there anything else you want to cover?
No, we covered everything, man.
I was going to show you a couple of videos that are
sure.
Yeah, if you want, by all means, that'd be great. Yeah, are you going to pull them up in the present area?
Yeah, I guess so. I tried to put them through WhatsApp, but it didn't go through.
Yeah, you can either send the link to me in the private chat if it's online, and I can share them.
Yeah, it's all on video file. Video file.
While you do that, I'm going to play the Mel's trailer one more time.
Yeah.
So, all right, everybody, here we go. One more time, the trailer to Dear Mr. President. Here we go.
In a nation founded on liberty, the right to speak is slipping away. From the airwaves to algorithms, America's voice is being stifled by corporations, by platforms, by fear.
Censorship. It's a much bigger threat to democracy than anything that we've seen in this country in the last 4 years, in the last 40 years.
One man dared to fight back with a letter to the president. The idea of the letter turns into a full-blown documentary.
The American people are demanding to see arrests at this point because we have the proof beyond a shadow of a doubt. I want to see, I think I speak for the American people. I think you guys would agree. If we were to put together a really cool email, but not send the email because that email will never get sent, but turn it into an audio and put it all over the internet and have the patriots just move it out there, okay? Wow. I mean, like, let it spread out there like crazy until it gets to Donald Trump and let them know the American people want to see fucking arrests. The people of the world want to see arrests. Because I'll tell you what, the people of other nations are waiting to invite in okay, DOGE, because if you think it's only happening in the United States of America, you're making a big mistake.
His words sparked a movement among podcaster and various patriots, a call to reclaim free speech. I wrote to the president because silence isn't freedom, it's surrender. Silence No More follows one man's bold solution to confront censorship head-on and the ripple effect shaking the nation. This letter isn't just words, it's a challenge to the system. One letter, one voice, one chance to change everything.
So I want to bring something up right now. So this happened to me yesterday, and I had to send Carol the message. I couldn't get my comment through to Mel, and one of our regular viewers just posted this. And we all, I mean, Carol and I know who this is. Karen said, weird, I'm blocked off Mel's Rumble to comment. Strange, rare, ever been on. What's with that? See, this is what we're talking about, right, Mel?
That's exactly right. And if you think Rumble is not guilty, you'd be making a mistake. Rumble started out as an innocent thing. We're not gonna infringe on freedom of speech, and then came in BlackRock, and BlackRock owns a lot of Rumble, and basically the money dictates to them what they're going to do and how high they're going to jump. And so, you know, every platform out there is against us. We know that. So you want to fight, you're going to get a fight. It's coming. And we're going to take advantage of the fact that Donald Trump is in the office right now. That's why we're moving on this now and not later.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Now, this just came up. This is a very good comment. How about giving us instructions on what to say to the podcasters we watch to get the invitation for them to participate? So please.
Tell them to send a text message to Mel on my Google Voice, 786-704-8817. If they need Vaseline to lube their ass to get their heads out of their ass, we got plenty of Vaseline.
Not baby oil.
Yeah.
Well,
baby oil, you got to call P. Diddy for that. I don't got any baby oil.
Okay, so I'm not sure how to respond to that quite. Okay, one more time. Give me the phone number so I can
786-704-8817. Text me.
8817.
Do not text me with bullshit. I don't have time to chit chat. Business only. You got a movie theater. You got a couple of podcasters who want to contact me. Give them the number. Tell them to text me, and I'll be more than happy to tell them what they need to do. If they don't know how to write a script, I'll write a little script for them, 45 seconds. I'll send it to them. They read it, practice it in the mirror, get it done, send it to us. If it's good enough, not everybody's going to listen. If everybody was to send us a 45-second piece or 20-second piece, we would not have enough, you know, like I said earlier, but there's probably a lot more people here now, so I got to repeat myself. The movie will be 5 hours long, okay? So we'll use the best ones, the most compelling ones. This is going to get to Donald Trump. Let me tell you, I don't know if you guys know who Clay Clark is. I'm sure a lot of you do know who he is. Clay Clark contacted me not once, but twice after he watched the documentary. Guess who he hangs out with on a regular basis? And they got sort of like a bromance going on. Eric Trump.
Yeah.
You feeling me?
Yeah.
If you don't think this movie's not going to end up on Donald Trump's desk, you're making a big mistake. If you got any money to bet, you better never bet against Mel Carmine. But if you bet with me, it's a sure bet. It's going to end up on his desk.
There we go. And Karen had some advice that coconut is actually safer than Vaseline's.
I've known Karen for 20-some years. We did all the expos together in Canada.
Oh my gosh, that is funny. Okay.
So Karen, send it to me, Karen. Yours too. You've been 45 seconds, no more.
Yeah,
right.
If the podcasters out there would stop for 2 minutes and watch that documentary trailer, and we're about to come with a second trailer, I guarantee you they would get interested. Okay, because once the movie's out, the movie's out. Is there going to be a part two? I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think there's going to be a need for a part two.
So if you want to put it up, it's dearmrpresident.net.
Right. I will. You know what? I'm going to share. I will share that. 1 sec. Let me just show the folks here what the actual website looks like so they know.
And make sure they sign up for the because they'll get the first preview. So if you sign in, there's not a whole lot of emails going out. So you don't have to worry about that. It's only about the movie. And if they want to watch it before it hits the theaters, make sure you sign up here. And yeah, this is the most important.
Yeah, I think we got our points across today. Mel, you're one of a kind in your delivery, I gotta say.
I never hold back. Never hold back.
Carole, thank you for bringing your essence and your way and your light. I mean, obviously, there's three very different personalities in this chat or in this podcast today, and some great voices in the chat. So thank you guys for that as well. And yeah,
well,
you go ahead. Yeah, and Mel, one more time, where that's his phone number right there, 786-704-8817.
Now, also, if they want to join in the effort to find independent movie theaters near me, just put in wherever you're at, New York, New Jersey, Chicago, Los Angeles, San Francisco, Dallas, Miami. Okay, those are the main hubs that we're looking for. Near independent movie theaters near me. Make sure you use the word independent. All the independent movie theaters will pop up. Send them an email saying, hey, this movie's about to come out. Would you like to show it at your movie theater free of charge? Just make sure that they have to buy a popcorn or a soda or both in order to get in.
Right. So once again, there's no incentive for money to be made off this. That's everything I'm gathering. This is literally not censorship.
Zero.
It's all volunteer. Like we're, it's
right.
We got to bring it together, and or we're not going to get anywhere. So.
Exactly. Awesome. All right, everybody. Well, thank you so much for being part of it. I was going to
play.
Yo, you have it. If you have a clip.
Yeah.
Well, let's do it. By all means.
Okay. Not what not to do.
Okay.
Are we showing the bloopers?
Some of them, yeah.
Oh, good.
One of them. Oh no, that's not it. I can play. This isn't a blooper. This is this is his fifth one.
Take 5. We're not seeing it yet.
Oh really?
No, you got to share.
Oh wait, no, that's the dearbristerpresident.net. Yeah, I'm not seeing it yet.
Well, what do I have to do?
Well, you either need to. You can send me the link, and I could put it up.
It's in my Dropbox.
Oh, well, so if you add it, if you pick the file and send it, it should show up for me, so I can either see it or it should say present.
I tried that, unless okay, there we go.
Dag nabbit, I thought this would just. I don't know. Sometimes it depends on the browser that you use too.
I'm in Google. I have to use Chrome. It won't do.
Huh.
It won't go through.
Well, darn it.
Well, no. Tell me how to do it. I don't know how to do it.
Well, sometimes it doesn't work on the browser. So it should though. But there's sometimes. So yeah, you hit present and it'll say file. You pick the file and then it should pop up in there. But other than that, I can't. I don't know.
Video file or share screen. Yeah. That's what it's supposed to do. Yeah.
Try and do the file first.
Well, I did do that.
Okay. Then if you want to do screen, if you do screen share, sometimes usually that's like a link.
Okay.
But yeah, if video file doesn't pop up, I'm not sure of the workaround on that. That's a really good question.
I can't even put it in our chat.
No, I mean, no, because it's on your computer. The chat, if it was a link and then I could share the link, yeah. So, well,
let's present. Let's try it one more time.
Yeah, try it one more time. Try if you haven't tried one of the either file or video share, that maybe the other one will work. Thanks everybody for your patience as we navigate this live. And I welcome any newscaster out there to try and do a show for an hour unscripted without anybody telling you what you're going to say. So I'd love to see it. You want to come on and try it sometime? Oh, here it is. Okay, here we go. Add to stage.
Dear Mr. President, 17 plus. I'm Stu's News. I was born in 71. Think mirror. I woke up when I was 13 in a history lesson, thinking this is all nonsense. And for 20 years, I didn't know why. In the 90s, I suffered some trauma and turned quite spiritual. I started researching heavily after 9/11. And in May of 2020, I started a little podcast, Stu's News. I've been trying to wake up my local community ever since. Local action equals national impact. And to date, I've lost 7 FB accounts. I'm on my 8th. 2 Instagrams, 2 Twitters since the purge, my TikTok channel and my YouTube channel. I will never stop until we win. God wins. Thank you for all you do. Where we go one, we go all.
So that was a long one. I sent it back. He's put on a shirt, and it's, I said, "You look like you. That's worse than Zelensky, you know." So he's a great guy. You know, he said that this morning. Here's another one. Whoops. Here's. Do
That's
I have to
awesome.
close this one?
Let's see. I'll remove that one from the stage. Well, I don't want to. Let's see. Yeah, well, close that one and try and add another one if you can. So what's great is their favorite part is watching podcasters work out the technical issues while we're on live.
Okay.
Someone said marketing works very well. I'll buy a CD. Well, the documentary's not out yet. So when the documentary's out, Mel, I'm not sure if you're going to print a CD.
No CDs. If you want to make a donation, there's a donation button on the website. You're more than welcome to do that. We're not asking for people for money. If you want to donate, because I like to believe that we have the right staff of people to do this next time, but I'd like to maybe the next time throw a little bit of money around. That always motivates people. You know what I mean? And
awesome.
So no CDs.
Okay. Oh, thank you for clarifying that. Here is the next.
Dear Mr. President, I go by the name Script Keeper. I've been censored since 2020, since speaking out. I'm still being censored now as we speak. My algorithms are kept low. I'm shadow banned. I have about 100,000 followers on X. I had 5 million on TikTok. I lost 130 accounts on TikTok.
Wow.
I lost 30 on Instagram. And the censorship is still going on. We need these people that are in charge of this and the ones that represent we the people in Congress to be held accountable. It's not right that the censorship is still going on, and we need accountability. That's what it comes down to. All right.
That was my $100 one. He's funny.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's insane. I think I've heard the name Script Keeper from you, but 5 million on TikTok, did he say?
Yep.
Especially because they were Nick and him and Dr. Z were doing the whole Phil Godlowski thing, like
right.
And that caught a lot. So yeah,
right.
Yeah.
Wow.
Jason Q was a bit of that too. So the last one I have here is Tom Althouse. Now, you know, these are kind of good ones. Like Tom, I had to say, hey, get mad, you know, because it was like really pussyfooting, and you know that's what I says. Remember, your boys died, right? Because of all this, and so then he, you know, got in there, and I've got a message to him to get Roseanne Barr. We'll see if Roseanne will come in. We'll see.
Okay. Do you want to share? Are you going to share Tom's?
I did. It's in the present.
Oh, sorry. Here. Yep. Oh, it's right down here. If I can get mine. Okay.
These are good little.
My name is Tom Althouse, the author of The Matrix. I'm the copyright holder, the sole copyright holder of this particular piece. Warner Bros. Was given it through Bonaventura after I pitched it to him in full. The court systems are corrupt in this country. The judges are bought. The attorneys are bought. They brag about getting away with theft and how much I'm worth. My sons are dead. My jobs are taken. I have nothing left. This is America, a third world country. We need you to fix it. We need you to go ahead and give the rights back and due process guaranteed to our citizens. I've had enough. Everything's been gone, and now they're talking about making Matrix 5. I hold the copyright. I'm the Neo. Now, as a fellow Neo, help us. Make a difference. Enough of this. Get our rights back.
Wow, that's awesome.
He had everybody in tears at the Quantum Summit. Everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Wow. I mean, yeah, if it's not motivating from Script Keeper and Tom and what was the other gentleman's name? I'm not familiar with.
Wait,
the first.
who? Oh, Stu's News. He's out of UK.
Stu's News. The shirtless Stu.
He has a shirt on now.
Right. No, but I'm just saying like that. That's what people are going to be contributing to. I mean, that's pretty cool. Why not? Right.
Jason Q's is good too. I'll play Jason's.
Okay. Let me. Yeah. Remove those other
Jason
ones.
Going to have me on the show.
You will. Yeah, he knows.
Yeah, I'd like to get on everybody's show at least twice before the documentary comes out. And hopefully with the help of the digital soldiers, we could really create a major buzz. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right. When Mel talks, I'm always waiting for him to say capiche.
Gabish. Yeah, you got to say it right. Gabish.
Gabish.
Yeah.
Okay. Carol, I think next one should be coming up. Yeah, thanks for removing the other ones. Now I can navigate this a little more easily. So just yeah, I mean I'm impressed. I'm I mean, Script Keeper, wow, man, we gotta have some of these guys on our shows as well. And maybe some people
all their phone numbers.
See, I mean, think about this. This is with Carol and you guys at the helm, we can help get each other's message out there as well. So I mean I had no idea. 5 million, man. Wow.
The day gets released 3 hours prior to being released on the internet. We're gonna have a private screening on where I share my screen, and you'll be able to see the actual documentary before it gets released to the world. 3 hours before.
Okay.
All the participants, everybody who participated.
Right. Right.
I don't know if this is the one. Okay.
Right. And Mel, the question earlier was, will you have a CD of the finished movie? And you're not going to be pressing a CD. It's just going to be digital format,
no
right?
CD, just digital format. And you're not allowed to download the movie and alter the movie. If you want to download it as is and upload it to your channels, carte blanche, go crazy with it. Okay. The more channels it gets uploaded to, the better. That's how it's going to grow legs. That's how we're going to beat the algorithms. So you could definitely do that, but you're not allowed to download it and alter it and try to make it your own. And that would be a big no-no.
Right. Awesome. Well, Carol, are you still trying with that one or?
Yeah. It's
we're gonna try to translate the movie in
there it is. I got it. Yeah.
Spanish and Mandarin Chinese also within days of launching.
Right. Okay. Here's Jason Q.
Dear Mr. President, my name is Jason Q from the Rumble channel We Not Me. I would like to personally redress my grievances on the current censorship fight that all of us face today. I have been blocked from posting facts and documents to all people in order for them to make their own personal decisions on what is the truth. We don't want to influence anyone. We just want to bring truth to power, and that power delivered back to we the people where it rightfully belongs. Thank you for your attention to this matter.
I added that at the end.
There you go.
Just a few of the 1.5 million receipts. And that was taken 4.5 years ago in his garage. So he's got a closet full and 3 bedrooms, all full, basement too.
I'm so glad you made him do that. That's fantastic.
Well, I added this because he still had a few seconds. He said, "No, I've done my thing." And I says, "Okay, can I add this?" And then he said, "If you can," I had to change it. Just put just a few of the 1.5 million receipts because people are gonna say that's not 1.5 million receipts. I says, "Okay."
Well, they can count it. Tell them they can go there and count it.
Yeah, and he's got it all categorized and labeled.
He
Like
is
his
he's
binders full.
incredible.
And he was never this way in school. I mean, he hated school. And well, you know, we're all a little autistic. If we can decode, you're autistic.
Right.
Or a little bit of ADD. So
yeah. No, Jason, he's what an incredible mind, and I've always had a great time with Jason, so in person and chatting. So
Absolutely.
brilliant mind.
all right, everybody. Well, I think that wraps it up. Carol, you're getting
I
some
can
love
say,
here.
yeah, one thing is if they want to email me, it's Carole with an E, CAROLE at thelightworkersinstitute.com. And I can also send you the outline of what needs to be done. And then you can send me the videos because Mel is getting buried over there. So I'm kind of keeping them all track. And then next week, we're going to start going through the videos to see which are the ones. Yeah, they'll probably all be used, but just where they can be placed within the documentary itself. So Mel, we really want to thank you for doing all this. And it was his idea. And I just happened to be on that. I was filling in for Laura Eisenhower. And I don't know who got it. Lisa maybe got a hold of me or you and said, can you come on the show in 15 minutes? I said, sure. So that came out of that show. So yeah. And I think this will unite a lot of the podcasters. And
yes, absolutely.
That's the goal.
Yeah, Joe, if you can get a hold from Dave, he did email me a couple of days ago. How much more time do I have? From News Treason.
Okay.
And,
I'll reach out to him.
I also let Mark know that he has to redo his because his was a minute and a half. So, yeah, but I haven't heard back from him. And yeah, if they're not on WhatsApp, it's pretty hard for me to get a hold of anyone.
Right. Awesome. All right, everybody. Well, I'll put all the links below on both X and Rumble. And yeah, it's been an awesome conversation. Obviously, a little color and some humor as well.
Not just a turquoise chair. Not just
got to throw a little Brooklyn spice.
That's where
Brooklyn spice never hurt no one.
Yeah, that's where I first saw Mel on a channel, and it was the turquoise chair. And who is this character? And then he says he's from Costa Rica, and so
that's where I made the chair.
Oh, is it? Well, because I asked
made
if
in Costa Rica.
You shipped it back to Florida. I asked you.
Oh yeah.
So. Oh, here's the song.
Awesome. I'm going to go ahead and play it. All right, everybody. Thank you so much. We're going to well, if I can get this warning thing out of there we go. I'm going to start this. Here's Freedom Now. And yesterday was obviously the 4th of July. So we will see everybody soon and enjoy this. Thank you guys for being here. And we'll be in touch very soon.
Side of the road, watching the world. Well, it's all just a show. Those we looked up to are not who they seem. They flash their symbols in a horrible scheme. We've been lied to about so many things. The television seeps poison as the mockingbird sings. We just want freedom. We just want freedom. We just want
freedom now.
We just want
freedom now.
Scripts of the movies part of the plots. Under the surface lies plenty of rot. Many actors play a devious role. Made a deal with the devil mind control. The leaders are blackmailed. They sold us out. Eyes and souls as black as coal. To gain their clout. We just want freedom. We just want freedom. We just want freedom now. We just want freedom now. We just want freedom. We just want freedom. We just want freedom now. We just want freedom now. No longer slaves in this human race. Explore the stars and travel space. The history we learned isn't even real. It's been rewritten as part of the deal. We've lived in a psyop, our DNA dumbed down. The world's been run by the cabal of clowns. They want us divided and uninformed. Our morality gone as part of the norm. We just want freedom. We just want freedom. We just want freedom now. We just want freedom now. We just want freedom. We just want freedom. We just want freedom now. We just want freedom now. To raise your mind and join the fight. Unveil the truth from darkness to light. Where we go one, where we go